I quickly realized that I was not the target audience for this movie as soon as the focus shifted from basketball to focusing on something else. It was the same feeling I got growing up and watching adult cartoons that I had no business watching. These cartoons had a lot of inappropriate, explicit moments that left me so confused. Some of it went right over my head. Then there were some moments where all I could think of was that I don't think that was meant for me to see. But I couldn't take my eyes away. These shows had my undivided attention whether they meant to or not. And now that I'm older, I realized that I was not the target audience for these adult cartoons. Just like I am not the target audience for the movie I'm going to talk about today. This is 1996 Space Jam.
They don't want to play in the NBA.
I really couldn't remember any key details about this movie, but the very first scene is of a young Michael Jordan playing basketball, with R. Kelly's I Believe I Can Fly playing in the background. This triggers so many dormant memories for me. I remember singing the remix version of this song in elementary school during recess while I was swinging on the swings with my friends. This is very innocent, very childlike behavior, but the song we were singing was not so innocent. I'm not going to sing this song in this video, but I will include the remix lyrics. I have no idea why we were singing this demented song as children, but this opening scene reminded me that even if I don't remember key details about these movies from the early 2000s, 90s, 80s, and so forth, they will mention certain things, places, people, or even play music that was popular back then. This alone will make me feel incredibly nostalgic, even if the movie itself doesn't feel nostalgic.
We need new attractions, right? New ones. Get it?
A group of aliens invade Earth. The aliens are seeking different attractions for their theme park, Moron Mountain, and they want the Looney Tunes characters to be their enslaved workers in entertainment. Bugs Bunny, one of the characters from the Looney Tunes, tricks the aliens by convincing them that the Looney Tunes have the right to defend themselves, and the aliens agree to play a basketball game. If the aliens lose, then they must leave Earth and return to their home planet. Meanwhile, in what they refer to as 3D land, at a press conference, Michael Jordan announces he plans to quit basketball and pursue a career in baseball, shocking everyone. Whether Michael Jordan is a basketball player or a baseball player, he is so beloved that people will follow and support him no matter what.
We're not worried.
Come on, Michael. Good job, buddy.
Hey, good try. Good hustle. Good cut, Mike.
At this point in the movie, all that really stands out to me is that the love for Michael Jordan almost felt like propaganda. I even questioned if this movie was a Michael Jordan biopic at one point. I mean, people used to love Michael Jordan and people used to love R. Kelly. It's kind of crazy to think about how much things can change. It is almost 2026, which means that this movie is almost 30 years old. I remember this era, but it's so interesting to compare this movie then versus now.
That's him! The killer! He's good. He's mine.
In preparation for the basketball game against the Looney Tunes, the aliens steal the talent of 5 different basketball players from the NBA. The Looney Tunes are overly confident and have completely underestimated the aliens, so they are shocked speechless when they see how good these aliens can play basketball. The aliens' transformation is a bit jarring. They turn into monsters and refer to themselves as monstars. The Looney Tunes decide to outsource help and they choose no one other than Michael Jordan. At first, Michael Jordan insists that he doesn't play basketball anymore. He's a baseball player now. But eventually he is won over. Stan, one of the many characters obsessed with Michael Jordan, ends up following him into the Looney Tunes pocket dimension, while the NBA decide to suspend basketball for the season until they can secure the health of the players who have had their talent stolen. The basketball game, Monstars versus the Looney Tunes, finally begins.
Standing a scintillating 3'2", Lola Bunny.
This is a side note, but I do feel like the Lola Bunny character had one too many suggestive scenes. It wasn't completely explicit, but more implicit. When she would talk and interact with the characters, there would be sensual jazz music playing in the background. She would slowly swing her hips when she walked and bat her eyes. I know a lot of kids' series and movies will include a few adult jokes that will fly right over a child's head. Children typically don't pick up on this kind of stuff, but it was the late 90s, so I guess it gets a pass. It was also weird for me to see Bugs Bunny so into Lola, almost obsessively, since I remember binge watching the Looney Tunes show a few years ago, and Bugs Bunny could not stand to be around Lola while Lola was very much obsessed with him. So it's very interesting for me to see this play out in reverse.
All right. How about we go out and kick some alien butt, huh? Let's go. How about it, huh? Ready? Yeah.
So back to the basketball game. During a timeout, Stan follows the Monstars to their locker room and overhears how they were the ones who stole the talent from the NBA players, which is why they can play basketball so well. Stan gets caught and he hurries to return to Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes in their locker room. And Stan reveals what he just overheard to everyone. After finding out the truth, Michael Jordan confronts the aliens' boss and raises the stakes. If the Looney Tunes win, then the aliens must return the stolen talent to the NBA players. And if the aliens win, Michael Jordan becomes their slave. Bugs Bunny is such a trickster. He convinces his teammates to drink Michael Jordan's special secret water, which encourages them to finish the basketball game. And this gives them the confidence that they did not have before. They focus on their strengths of being silly, goofy Looney Tunes characters while playing basketball, but it's still not enough to win the game. Michael Jordan calls for a timeout to check on the status of his team, who are mostly injured and debilitated.
You got any more of that secret stuff? I think it's starting to wear off.
It didn't well. You guys had the special stuff inside of you all along.
Michael Jordan finally tells Stan that he can play, but when Stan gets injured, they need a fifth player once again. Then enters Dan Aykroyd. Dan says that the producer is a friend of his and he had someone drop him off. If this is a joke, I don't get it at all. But anyway, Michael Jordan uses the Looney Tunes world logic and stretches his arm to make the winning goal. The final score was 78-77, and everyone celebrates. However, the aliens' boss does not honor his earlier agreement and tries to take them all as his slaves anyway. Michael Jordan convinces the other aliens, the boss's underlings, to go against their boss and gets them to forcibly return the talent to the NBA players in 3D land. Michael Jordan arrives at his baseball game on an alien spaceship with yet again R. Kelly's I Believe I Can Fly playing in the background. And eventually Michael Jordan does return to playing basketball for the Chicago Bulls. And that's the movie.
Michael, you hear that? They don't think you can play the game anymore.
There's only one way to find out.
This movie isn't that bad. It's really not. It's just, this movie just feels like it's for kids. This movie is very simple, very straightforward. Aliens are invading Earth and they're seeking to enslave, not humans, but the Looney Tunes. Michael Jordan, his character, he seems like a very sweet man, very sweet, kind man, a family man. But this movie, it feels like propaganda because people just loved him. They loved everything he did and they would follow him and they would root for him. Even when he started playing baseball, he wasn't the best baseball player and he had so many fans. They just loved him for him. It didn't matter if he was good or not at the sport he was playing. They were there for him. At one point, it looked like it really hurt his pride, but he was happy for the support. But he wants to be good at baseball. He wants to try something new and change it up, switch it up. But unfortunately, he was not good at baseball. And I'm trying to think if there are any like overall messages. I don't want to say stick to what you know. In order to fall in love with something that you're good at or that you once loved, perhaps take a break from it and then come back to it later. Because I mean, that's what Michael Jordan did. He took a break from basketball, pursued baseball, wasn't that good at it. And then he had the opportunity to play basketball again and help the Looney Tunes win. And for the aliens to not only return home, but to return the talent that they stole from the other NBA players back to them. It feels like this movie is like a full circle kind of moment. But other than that, I don't think there were any other messages that really stood out to me in this movie, which is kind of surprising. There were a lot of inside jokes, a lot of jokes that felt like I needed to have some more cultural references or like a background in basketball, but I don't. Maybe I would enjoy this movie more if I did. I don't know. That being said, it is good. The people, the music felt more nostalgic than the movie itself, but overall it was a nice feeling of nostalgia. So yeah, it'll be a while before I rewatch it again because the plot line is very simple. You can probably guess what's gonna happen in each scene and very straightforward. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm an adult now. I need something more to captivate me and my attention. To end this video, I want to answer the question, how good does this movie make me feel and why? On one hand, this movie feels incredibly nostalgic. On the other hand, this movie feels like straight up propaganda. This movie showed the love and obsession people had for Michael Jordan. Obviously, that level of love and obsession does not exist today. So it feels a little weird. It feels like a parody or a mockery. Like it's all an inside joke, but they left me out. There are additional cultural references I don't get in this movie because I'm not into basketball. Never have been and likely never will be. I tried and failed several times, but it's not for me. This is one of the many reasons I don't feel like I was a target audience for this movie. But I still found it to be enjoyable and fairly entertaining. This is a live action and animation combination film. The animation and live action integration isn't too bad, especially for its time. This movie is silly, it's goofy, and it's also a little gross. Yes, I had fun along the way, but I likely won't ever watch this movie again. If I do, it will be years, maybe a decade or two from now. That being said, I am going to rate this movie a weak 6 for how good it makes me feel. It was nostalgic and brought me back to happier times for many reasons. And the main one is that Michael Jordan grew up in North Carolina, in a similar area to my dad and my uncles, and they all have the same soft-spoken voice that I dearly miss in my life. So it feels a bit bittersweet. Less bitter, more sweet, but still bittersweet. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.